Hello, I got bored and I decided to do a tier list because that's hip with the kids these days. This is a new format for me. I'm not going to do a whole lot of editing on this. This is just me, fricking around, finding out. So, a lot of people, like especially in Death Battle or similar communities, like to debate which character would beat who in a fight, what's their power level, could I beat the character in a fight, etc., etc. And usually the assumption is you just randomly encounter the character, you don't have prep time, you start brawling. I thought, however, well, a lot of these characters might not immediately start fighting you as soon as they meet you, so I decided to take my character list in a different direction. So, with the cast of Super Smash Bros., which of these Super Smash Bros. Characters would fight you if you randomly met them in the street? Now, to start with, a couple of ground rules. Number one, it does not matter what the outcome of the fight is, just how likely the character would be to randomly fight you. Obviously, of course, I would win every fight. I am a paragon of physical perfection. I am just that good. Number two, this is truly a random encounter. You just find them as you're going about your day. You're not doing anything in particular to antagonize them. The onus of starting the fight is entirely on the Super Smash Bros. Character. Number three, this is mostly based on vibes. I don't know a lot about all of these characters. I know some about most of them. So when I don't know, I'm just gonna make stuff up. And number four, because it's mostly based on vibes, I am objectively correct. Like I said, paragon of physical perfection, just that good. I am the most correct boy who has ever lived. You're, of course, free to argue with me in the comments. That's what comment sections usually turn into, arguments about who would win in a fight. Just let me know what you think I'm wrong about and why. And without further ado, let me just explain the tiers. Attacking you right now is obvious. It is on site with these people. They are going to look at you, and they're going to have a problem, and they are going to brawl. Then there is Just Give Me a Reason. Just Give Me a Reason isn't going to, start a fight out of nowhere, but they're just, looking for a good reason to just get started and immediately start a melee. What are you doing in my swamp? These characters, just generally want to be left alone, so they're cool with you if you are the one who backs off, but they will happily start a fight if you push their boundaries even just a little bit. Had a Bad Day is could go either way. Most of the time, these characters are just gonna be fine. They might give you a wave as you pass by, but if they're having an off day, they might just decide, hey, you are someone in my way, I'm gonna fight you. Then there's haha, just kidding, unless, where there is some extenuating circumstance that would make them decide to fight you, but as a rule, generally they're not gonna fight a rando in the street. You're all good, bro. It is highly, highly unlikely, almost a 0% chance that these characters will fight you in the street. And then characters who literally can't, literally do not have the option to start fighting you in the street for some reason or another. So Tiermaker has arranged these characters alphabetically. I, on the other hand, will go in order that Super Smash Bros. Ultimate puts them, which is generally in terms of introduction to the series, with Echo Fighters slotted in next to their main character. So we're going to start with Mario. So Mario's a good guy. Mario, he likes people, he doesn't hate anyone, he respects all races, colors, and creeds. But the outlier here is that represented in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is Cappy. And Cappy can possess anyone who is not wearing a hat and potentially just knock the hat off. Now, Cappy works with Mario, so normally that's not going to be that much of an issue. Their morals are basically aligned, but sometimes in New Donk City, Mario just has to possess a random dude in order to get a power moon. Now, I don't know if that dude is permanently hurt or physically or mentally scarred and has to go to therapy after being possessed by an Italian plumber and his magical hat. But the possibility is always going to remain that Mario might need something you can get easier than he can, and he has Cappy with him, and you don't have a hat. So Mario is going to be, haha, just kidding, unless... Next, after that, we have Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong is a gorilla. And gorillas, in general, like, in zoos, they're pretty chill with humans as long as you don't do any obvious, gorilla agitation techniques, like beating your chest. Never do that at a gorilla. Fun fact, we don't know the maximum strength of a gorilla. The enclosures for gorillas at zoos are based on vibes, and how we think they won't get out of it if they get angry. Now, luckily for us, Donkey Kong really just cares for bananas. So, like, unless you're keeping him from bananas, he's probably not going to mess you up. But the fact is, he is still a wild animal, and wild animals need to be respected, their territory, their likes, their dislikes. So, what are you doing in my swamp? Is his tier, don't go bothering a gorilla. Now, Link has many incarnations. Generally, he is the hero of time. He goes around saving people, fighting Ganondorf, generally trying to be a good guy, helping out with favors for pieces of heart. However, this Link is from Breath of the Wild, and I guess Tears of the Kingdom, but Tears of the Kingdom came after. And this version of Link is basically a crack addict. Have you seen the crazy shit Link gets up to in Breath of the Wild? Give him a Sheikah slate, or give him the powers of the Zonai, and his creativity and cruelty is endless. There are crucified bokoblins, there are Ganondorf ovens, there is no stopping how insane this man gets. And if he thinks it would be funny to show off his cool new idea, he definitely would. So this Link is going in, just give me a reason. Because most of the time he won't attack you, but if he's got that idea in his head, oh, here we go, it's gonna be blood. After that we have Samus Aran down here. So Samus, in her power suit, generally is not someone you want to fuck with. Of course, I would win in a fight, but that's besides the point. But she doesn't go out of her way to fuck with people. She gets a task, she goes to a planet, it ends up blowing up. But that's not really like fighting you as a whole. That's just something that happens to happen when Samus is around. She is a person of mass destruction. Now, that being said, on a personal level, just meeting her in the street, Samus probably isn't going to fight you. She probably isn't even going to look in your direction. She'll definitely finish a fight if you try and start one, but she's not going to be the one to start one. So I'm going to put her in haha, just kidding, unless, because she doesn't care. You don't give a crap what you do, as long as you don't get in her way or antagonize her or anything like that. Dark Samus, on the other hand, is definitely attacking you right now. Yeah, Dark Samus just wants to assimilate everything, wants to blow everything up. This is the form of Metroid Prime. Metroids are the scourge of the galaxy. Metroids are crazy, aside from one baby. Dark Samus is not that baby. Dark Samus is gonna fight you. Dark Samus might, like, seek everyone in the world out to try and fight them. Now I have to scroll down for Yoshi down here. Yoshi is a lovable, very cute dinosaur, makes all kinds of kids and moms go aw upon seeing him. Yoshi is a species and also the name of an individual Yoshi. I'm assuming a bunch of Yoshis are also named Yoshi. For all intents and purposes, we're assuming this is one Yoshi and not a species, because, like, I'm not going to assign an entire species would fight you. But generally, Yoshi really likes people. Yoshi wants to hang around people. Yoshi's great with babies, actually. You can trust your babies with this dinosaur. And, like, sure, Yoshi can swallow his enemies, turn them into eggs, and then throw them, which is not a lot of care for, what would be considered his own babies, but, you know, Yoshi reproduction cycles we don't know all that much about. Maybe they're an unfertilized Yoshi egg. That is to say, if there is a living person, Yoshi is probably going to find, like, an actual enemy before anyone else to turn them into an egg and throw them if you randomly encounter a Yoshi. Yoshi doesn't like bothering people. You're all good with Yoshi. You could probably even pet him. Like, just walk right up, pet him. Ask permission first, because Yoshi is sentient. But Yoshi would happily accept. Yoshi is all good with you. Next we have Kirby. And Kirby is an adorable pink puffball who likes to say hi, likes to eat and nap. God, what a mood. Kirby is also referred to as the Pink Demon. Kirby is a destroyer of worlds. Kirby is 100% the most powerful character in all of Smash Bros. No question. Kirby is destroyer of worlds. There is no controlling Kirby. There is barely understanding of Kirby. So usually Kirby's not going to be a problem, but if you catch Kirby on a bad day, you will not stop this uncontrollable demon. But it's not your fault. He's just, Kirby does what Kirby does. Fox McCloud, very similar to Samus, both come from space, both have cool spaceships, both shoot the hell out of a lot of people, but a lot of people are usually enemies or alien life forms that are trying to attack them first. So if you're not trying to attack Fox, then I don't see much of a reason for him to bother with you. Just kind of like Samus. Maybe he's a little angrier than Samus because people keep calling him a furry, and he's not a furry, he's just a fox. Furries are people who are into anthropomorphic things, generally, like Fox McCloud would be. So he'd get very irritated, but I think he'd try explaining before whipping out his blaster, wave dashing, and all that. Fox is toward the higher end of haha, just kidding, unless. I'll put Mario down a little bit if we're actually putting an order. Order doesn't matter, it's mostly these tiers, honestly. Now, Pikachu is down here. There's a lot of characters, bear with me. Pikachu is actually going into attacking you right now, and you may think, why? He's also a cute little critter who makes little kids and their moms go, aw. And you're right, but in the Pokemon world, if you walk into the long grass, tall grass, long grass, call it whatever, wild Pokemon will see that as an invitation to come at you and attack. It is literally in their nature to just fight you. Now sure, it is like to prove your worthiness to command them or something like that, but wild Pokemon literally like to fight. They will fight you. It'll be a whole lot of fighting. Pikachu, by nature, is attacking you right now if you randomly encounter him. Now, Luigi is like Mario. He's a nice guy. He just wants to hang out, have a good time, not get spooked. Luigi does not have Cappy. Luigi has the Poltergust, and that is working against ghosts. I'm assuming you are not a ghost. If you are, please tell me how to get onto Ghost YouTube, and if its connection is good. So, Luigi, generally, you're all good with Luigi. Yeah, Luigi doesn't want to fight you. Even if you tried to start a fight, Luigi would try to de-escalate before anything else. Probably Mario too, but, Mario has Cappy, so he's got a really quick method of stopping a fight if he needs to. Luigi's just like, please, don't do that. Think of my lasagna. Next we have Ness from Earthbound, or Mother 2, if we want to get technical about it. So Ness is just a regular human kid with psychic powers, as all regular human kids have. At least the ones that don't study Kung Fu or go into STEM fields. They have psychic powers. No, wait, Pooh has psychic powers. I am a liar and a cheat. Anyway, Ness is just a regular human kid. He's got psychic powers, he's got yo-yo, he's got a bat. He's got tools to fight, technically. Mostly the bat. And he does, in fact, fight other people in his series. Now, to be fair, these people are controlled by Gygus, so they are under the influence of an unearthly star, and that is potentially real bad. But, in general, Ness doesn't go around seeking out fights. In fact, if he gets too powerful, fights tend to run away from him, as far as I remember. They either run away or die instantly, just due to his sheer powerful bad vibes. So I would say, unless you are being mind-controlled by Gygus, Ness is not going to fight you if he randomly encounters you. Then we have Captain Falcon up here. Now, Falcon is also from a futuristic setting, like Fox and like Samus. He's not part of the same universe as Fox, as far as I know. Star Fox Command is just weird. Octoman there is not the same as Octoman in F-Zero. Now, this is Captain Falcon out of his vehicle. His vehicle goes stupidly fast and should not be on civilian roads, so if he is, then he's committing crimes already. He probably wouldn't hesitate to run you over, but out of his vehicle, Captain Falcon is just a man who likes running around fast, yelling at the top of his lungs, covering himself in fire and punching things. He's a loud and crazy guy, so he's not gonna, like, set out to fight you, but if he's having an off day, he might need to Falcon punch something, and that's gonna have a lot of collateral damage. That's the most unfortunate for you. Jigglypuff right up there with Pikachu, same rules. Jigglypuff is a Pokemon. If you encounter Jigglypuff out in the wild, they will see that as a challenge. Jigglypuff will attack. So that covers Super Smash Bros. The first one. We now move on to Melee with Princess Peach. And Princess Peach, along with Mario and Luigi, it's just kinda cool, easygoing. Doesn't really want to set out and cause a whole lot of problems outside Mario Party, but everyone in Mario Party agrees and knows the consequences of what will happen. So if you just randomly encounter Peach, then she's probably just gonna say hey, chat with you a little bit. She might be busy, so she might cut it short, but she's got time to say hey, do a little bit of light conversation. So I'm gonna say you're all good, bro. She'll shut you down if you start, like, flirting with her, and she definitely has some tools to make you stop. She's not a damsel in distress anymore. She has been for many years, but now she's just like one of the guys. But in general, Peach is not going to want to fight you. Daisy, Daisy is the sportier version of Princess Peach. She hails from a different country, which is only visited once. Gave Mario his own castle. He never goes there. Daisy is loud, brash, really energetic. She is a Type A personality. And all Type A personalities go and have a bad day. Because, like, if she is having an off day, she is going to take it out on you. She might fight. She might have soccer cleats on. That's going to hurt. But in general, like, after she vents her frustration, she's going to be like, wow, I feel great after that. Sorry about fighting you. Bye. Doesn't help, though. Bowser is the first Mario character we have who is not a chill person. Bowser is very much anti-chill. He literally breathes fire, king of the Koopas. He roars around, stomps around, causes problems. But he's actually going in just give me a reason. Because, like, he's not going to set out to just hurt random people. He usually has a bigger goal than that. Even if that goal is just kidnap Princess Peach for the third time this week. So, Bowser might just be going out, like, running errands, being spooky, having people get out of his way. He's not going to, like, try to be polite or anything. But, at the slightest provocation, Bowser's gonna go off. Bowser is gonna start fighting you. Next, we have the Ice Climbers. They count as one person, because honestly, not enough of a personality difference between them. And the Ice Climbers, if you encounter them, then you're probably climbing an icy mountain, and they just, like, wave, continue up their climb. If they're not on an icy mountain, they're probably having a bad time because they're in very heavy parkas. And honestly, I don't think the Ice Climbers care. Like, if you're not going to bother them, they're not going to bother you. They got stuff to do. They got mountains to climb. They got endangered polar bears to attack. Does Ice Climbers have eggplants? I forget. But they have, like, some kind of vegetable that they collect that is very much not native to very icy mountains. Yeah, they don't care. They're just gonna... They're gonna be in, you're all good, bro. You're gonna be fine with the Ice Climbers. Then we have Sheik. Now, Sheik and Zelda in Smash Ultimate are different iterations of Zelda. And the different iterations, like Link, have different personalities. Sheik is from Ocarina of Time, and this is where Zelda had to go on the run, be a survivalist, fend for herself for 7 years. And that is going to do some things to someone's psyche. So, Sheik is not going to set out to fight you, but if you randomly encounter them and they're having a bad day, they might find it faster to just beat the hell out of you instead of, you know, just talk about it with someone, go to a therapist. There are no therapists in Hyrule. No one has therapists in Hyrule. So Sheik, if they had a bad day, definitely would fight you. Now, am I going... Oh, there are 2 Nana and Popos down here. I'm not putting them up there. Ice Climbers are the same. So, Zelda, on the other hand, this Zelda is from, I believe, Skyward Sword. And this is a much more carefree Zelda. This is a Zelda that just wants to hang out, be chill, chat about things with the girls. I think this one also does push Link off of a floating city to teach him how to call bird and fly. But generally, Zelda is a pretty nice person. Zelda is a princess. Princesses generally tend to like people, and if they don't, something's very wrong and they're the antagonist. Zelda is not. You're all good with Zelda. She probably doesn't want to fight you. Dr. Mario is Mario as a doctor, and in order to get to his profession, doctors have to take the Hippocratic Oath. In it, there is the famous phrase, "First, do no harm." Obviously, this is a supernatural law that forbids doctors from doing any sort of violence or harm against you. So obviously, Dr. Mario literally cannot hurt you, cannot fight you if he tried. It's part of the, spectral doctor code that he must abide by. Pichu is a Pokemon. And normally Pichu would be attacking you right now as soon as he sees you. But Pichu is a baby Pokemon. And Pichu hatches from an egg. Now, egg-hatched Pokemon tend to be tamer in that, they're not hanging around in wild grass waiting for someone to try going down the street to the grocery store to fight them. So Pikachu is not going to necessarily attack you on sight. In fact, they're a baby. They might just want to, hang out, ask if you got any games on your phone. But the possibility remains they will always have that Pokemon in them. They will always have that need to battle. So, generally, you're probably pretty safe among Pichu. It'll hurt them a lot more than it hurts you if it fights, too. Falco is working alongside the same team as Fox, aside from the games where he's had enough of not getting enough attention and just leaves and quits. So normally he wouldn't have much of a reason to bother you. But along with being joked about being a furry, which he's not, he's also going to have jokes about being called Revali or Birdly or any other similar blue bird character. And I imagine his tolerance for that is a lot lower than Fox's. So Falco is probably going to start a fight a lot quicker than Fox would. So Marth is down here. I almost hit Lucina, who calls herself Marth at one point, but no. Actual Marth is the hero king of Fire Emblem, the one a lot of people from across the series look up to because there's, some kind of commonality. And Marth is really good at fighting. He's really good at commanding armies and kicking ass, but generally, Marth prefers just about anything to actual combat. Because, going through war sucks. Who wouldn't? So, he'll absolutely finish anything that started, but he does not want to be the aggressor. At all. So, with Marth, you're all good, bull. You're all good, bro. Now we actually get to Lucina, because she's the Echo Fighter of Marth. And Lucina, like Sheik, comes from a time where she has had to fend for herself and survive against overwhelming odds and forces of darkness, and I don't think that's going to do much good for anyone's psyche, so I'm actually going to put her in What Are You Doing in My Swamp? Because who knows what kind of thing she's seen in the future. Maybe she's seen in the future that you become a cultist of Grima, so you gotta die before that happens. Time travel is weird. It does bad things to people, man. Lucina got edge. She's ready to throw down. Now we have Young Link. This Link is from Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. And in both of those games, Link does fight human and humanoid enemies. I believe the Gerudo he fights. He fights the bandits of Akana Canyon, though I can't remember if those are ghosts or not. Again, this is mostly going on vibes. So we definitely know he can. But this Link just causes regular Link problems, like rolling around, yelling, cutting people's grass, throwing their pots. So maybe Link had a bad day or something, but he's not going to go out and try to, fight someone as opposed to doing more petty crime. Ganondorf, on the other hand, Ganondorf is attacking you right now. This is Ocarina of Time Ganondorf from the design, and this Ganondorf can play nice if he wants to, but it's all a lie. He wants the power of the stones, he wants the power of the Triforce, he wants power and all of it, and he is gonna hit you with that full force Doria. This man loves fighting. This man will ruin you if he sees you because you just happen to be in his way. Even if you're like all the way down the street and he just wants to go like the next store down, you're in his way. Absolutely, you're in his way. After that, we have we have Mewtwo. Another Pokemon who doesn't go into the attacking you right now tier. Because Mewtwo is very, 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 very smart. Mewtwo is smarter than most Pokemon. Arguably one of the strongest to ever live. I said one of, so don't come at me. You can argue about Arceus or Ultra Necrozma all you want. Mewtwo is a genius. Mewtwo's very smart. And if this was Mewtwo during the first movie, absolutely he would attack you right now, because he attacks everyone in the world right now. But Mewtwo in general just wants to hang out in his cave and not be bothered. And if you're gonna go bother him, then absolutely he got that Pokemon in him. He will throw down, he does not care. But generally speaking, if you're not anything resembling a threat to Mewtwo or nearby Mewtwo, then Mewtwo doesn't want to bother with you. I think there was also like a movie where Mewtwo saved a bus from falling off a ravine when he didn't need to, showing he's chilled out a whole lot more, so that's why he's not in Just Give Me a Reason. So, but he's definitely towards the high end of What Are You Doing in My Swamp. Roy, another Fire Emblem character. As we know from Roy in Fire Emblem Heroes, Roy is a friend to all humans. Dragons and beast types, though, he don't give a fuck. He doesn't give any bonuses, get any bonuses from them. So, I'm assuming you're not, like, a dragon type or a beast type, but you may be walking a dog, and he may have an issue with that. Generally, though, Roy's a bro. Roy is our boy. Roy doesn't want to fight, will absolutely throw down if he has to, because Fire Emblem, a lot of them like throwing down, going to war, for various reasons. His Echo Fighter, Chrom, Fire Emblem Awakening. Chrom is also going to be actually right next to... Come on, get out of the way. Right next to Roy. Because Chrom is similarly chill. He doesn't really want to start fights, but will absolutely end them. He wants to defend his kingdom, and he wants to defend his bro in the bro code. Robin might be a cis in the bro code. Robin can be either gender. Robin can be whatever Robin wants to be. Gender is a spectrum. Fight me. But, like, if Robin doesn't like your vibes, then there's no saving you from Chrom. You gotta respect the bro/non-binary/cis code. If someone doesn't have good vibes, they're gone. They're out of here. And last from Melee, we have Mr. Game & Watch. Mr. Game & Watch comes from the Game & Watch series of games, which were on LCD screens. At least I think that's what they were called. But they were old technology where it had like a bunch of different positions for Mr. Game & Watch to be in, burned into the screen, that he could hop between in order to like juggle balls, keep lines in, cause an oil disaster, etc. But because he is confined to those, he literally can't hurt you. He's just stuck in a screen. He's stuck in a video game even. Mr. Game & Watch can't do anything to you. What, you're gonna get hit with a 2D mallet? Okay, only if I'm standing in that exact position. Mr. Game & Watch ain't shit. He ain't doing nothing. So, Meta Knight, who is the scourge of Super Smash Bros. Brawl, been nerfed a couple times, but is still an absolute nightmare. Meta Knight is a knight who duels by a code of honor. He is not going to be one to just randomly attack people. Meta Knight's revenge was him being incredibly pissed off at the laziness and slothfulness of Dreamland as a whole. He's not done anything of the sort since. He just wants to go out and challenge himself, but as a general rule, he's not going to find some rando to be a challenge. So he might go up to you, throw a sword down on the ground, turn his back, wait for 3 minutes for you to pick it up, and then fight you. But he doesn't want to attack you out of the blue. he will absolutely find a reason to, but he is not going to immediately go brawl with you. Next we have Pit, who is the defender of Angel Land, the captain of Palutena's guard, champion of Heaven's army in Kid Icarus Uprising. And this man defends the hell out of humans. I do not remember a single time in the game where he had to fight one... Wait, sorry, no, Magnus, but I think there were extenuating circumstances behind that. Randomly out of the blue, he doesn't want to fight you. He wants to eat ice cream, hang out, and reminisce about Super Smash Bros. And other video games. Break the fourth wall, maybe the fifth and sixth while he's at it. He's not gonna fight you. Pit's alright, he's chill. Dark Pit is a villain character, just like Dark Samus, who is also a clone of the main hero, just like Dark Samus. But Dark Pit is not going to attack you out of the blue like Dark Samus. Dark Pit is just an edgy boy along the veins of Shadow the Hedgehog, but he really doesn't care about the wars going on between humans, the underworld, the forces of nature, anything like that. Man doesn't want to pick a side. Honestly, kind of a mood. So he's edgy and will not hesitate to get in a brawl if you, like, look at him funny. But if you just, like, leave him alone, you're probably good. Dark Pit doesn't care. Zero Suit Samus is counted as a separate character from regular Samus. And now that she is out of the power suit, she is more vulnerable. She doesn't have as much equipment on hand. Definitely has the combat training, though. Now, Zero Suit Samus, because she is out of the suit, shows off more of her fine-ass figure, and damn does she look good. So she's more likely to get flirted with by creeps on the street, such as me, who's not a creep, but is a paragon of physical perfection. And I don't think she has any tolerance for that sort of thing. So, the instant you try flirting with Zero Suit Samus, she is going to shoot you with her paralyzer taser. You are dropping to the ground. But after that, she's probably, like, going on her way unless you press the issue. So she's going into what are you doing in my swamp tier. Wario. Well, Wario, you just got Wario'd. Wario does not care about things like morals or laws. Wario likes money, and Wario likes garlic. If he thinks you have anything that could boost his finances, Wario is going after you. You just got Wario'd. He's gotta win. Yes, he is more likely to just randomly attack someone in the street than Bowser. That's just how Wario be. Deal with it. So, Solid Snake. Specifically Solid Snake. Now, Big Boss has Big Boss's morals. And Venom Snake is like Breath of the Wild Link. He'll do all kinds of weird, fucked up shit to, mess with you if it thinks it'll give him a boost to his combat resources or anything like that. Solid Snake, on the other hand, he is an expert martial artist, Black Ops agent, infiltrator, trained with all kinds of weapons and all that. But honestly, I don't think he wants civilian casualties. I think he just wants to be left alone. He's like Rambo. He just wants to retire, live a good life, not be bothered by anybody. So he may look weird sneaking around in a box, and he may choke you out if you, bother the box and he's having a bad day. But that would require him having a bad day, and I don't think Snake really wants to bother you in the street if he just runs into you looking for groceries. Ike. We like Ike. Ike is cool. Ike is the first definitely canon gay Fire Emblem Lord representation. Ike is a mercenary, unlike other lords in Fire Emblem who are like princes and stuff like that. So, Ike doesn't really care about, waging war. He will fight, of course, but, if he's not being paid, I don't think he would give a crap about you. He would be getting groceries the same as you. Boys gotta eat, boys gotta earn that dough. Wouldn't blame him if he was paid to fight me because, my manly physique earns me many enemies who are very, very jealous of me. Then we have Pokemon Trainer and all their Pokemon. Also going straight up into attacking you right now tier. Now, the Pokemon, because they're Pokemon, if you encounter them out in the wild, they're going to want to fight you, they're going to want to test their mettle. Pokemon Trainer operates by similar rules. If you are out of a major city, sometimes even in a major city, and you make eye contact, Pokemon Trainer law is to engage in battle. Now, sure, they do it by proxy via Pokemon, but if you've got no Pokemon, then Pokemon Trainer might just take that as a sign of weakness and try to get your money as if he had won a battle. So, like, Pokemon Trainer is out for blood. Same with Leaf. It doesn't matter if it's Leaf or Red. They both operate by Pokemon Trainer law. They're gonna get you. Diddy Kong. Diddy Kong, like Donkey Kong, mostly cares about bananas and living a cool and easy life. But Diddy Kong, I'm gonna put him in Just Give Me a Reason. Because Diddy Kong's a monkey. And monkeys are a lot meaner and do a lot more crime towards humans than gorillas do. Not only that, Diddy Kong is packing heat. He is ready to hold someone up in the street and demand their bananas and or money to buy bananas. Diddy Kong is a crazed monkey. He's not an ape, he's got a tail. And he hates you. Not personally, he's just a monkey, and monkeys hate people. Lucas also fights humanoids like Ness, but they are members of Porky's army. They're like cultists and soldiers and stormtroopers and all that. In general, Lucas, though, he's a sweet boy. He doesn't want to fight. He wants peace. He wants to live a happy life, the happy life that was denied to him. Lucas doesn't want to fight you. Lucas has been through way too much to want to fight you. Sonic the Hedgehog has to go fast. And we know from fighting Robotnik that he will attack humans. But Sonic the Hedgehog is a friend to all things living, so generally, Sonic doesn't want to hurt animals if he can help it, and technically humans are animals. So if you can get around the, jankiness of how Sonic exists in a world with very realistic humans, like in Sonic 06, not have war flashbacks, Sonic doesn't really hurt people or want to hurt them. Sonic does have to go fast, and he's breaking several laws, but violence is not one of them. Now, King Dedede is the first antagonistic figure if you don't count Dark Pit. I lied, if you don't count Mewtwo either. Anyway, all this is to say that King Dedede is also going in What Are You Doing in My Swamp? Because King Dedede will steal people's food, and probably will hit them with the hammer if they cross him funny, but he does a lot of good, too. He tries to seal away Nightmare, Dark Matter, all the like. He will absolutely take the fight to them if it's needed. He cares about his subjects. Just like, don't mess with King Dedede, he won't mess with you. What are you doing in his swamp? Don't poke his swamp, don't take his food. Just don't take people's food in general, like, as a matter of course. We have Captain Olimar from Pikmin. And, Olimar is out for treasure for various reasons. To repair his ship, or to just get capitalism for his incompetent president over at Hoctate Shipping. But, even though he might send his army of Pikmin after you to fight, there is a major difference of scale here. Like, Olimar is tiny. You are a grown-ass person. Unless you are a child watching this, in which case you did not learn profanity from me. So Olimar would, definitely try to fight you. So he's not in a literally can't tier. But by the point he amasses his army, you've taken, one step, boom, you're several miles away from Olimar's perspective, so by all technicalities, you'd be all good, bro. I'd put him, at the bottom of... just kidding, unless, because, if you were standing still, it might feel like you were being hit by several fire ants, but, Pikmin aren't gonna take you down, and just moving away stops the fight immediately. So, Olimar's gonna be very confused about the Titan wearing the shoe Treasure of the Gods, and probably will decide to attack you, but because he's so ineffective, I can't justify putting him any higher than this. I know it's not about, who would win in a fight, but there's such a big difference with Olimar that I just kinda have to. Lucario, Pokemon, but also, he's basically the Goku of Pokemon. Goku loves fighting people to test his strength, so me being a Paragon of Physical Perfection, I am prime Goku target. So Lucario definitely is like, your aura is strong. Let us battle to increase the strength of my aura. And, like, I don't know how this man gets about in society. He probably doesn't. Goku needs Chi-Chi to rein him in so he can barely get by in society, and he barely sticks around. He's up flying in space, fighting people who look strong. All this just to say, yeah, Lucario is probably top of the Pokemon tier for attacking you right now. R.O.B is a toy. R.O.B is a toy robot meant to go with like 2 games on the Nintendo. Now, the games are pretty crappy, but R.O.B did serve his purpose by making the Nintendo Entertainment System seem like not a game system in an era where people were done with game systems after the Atari crash. By bundling it as a toy, they increased interest in the console and basically revived video gaming as we know it. All that being said, R.O.B being a robot is limited to what he's programmed to do, which is very slowly raise and lower his arms, move them in, move them out to grab discs. So, R.O.B literally cannot hurt you. He's just a little guy who is programmed to help. Then we have Toon Link, the last of the Links. So, like young Link, Toon Link is also probably going to engage in plenty of petty crimes, like, you know, vandalism, speeding, stealing property. But this Toon Link is also operating a pirate ship, can operate a train. This Toon Link is forklift certified. That means he is legally allowed to kill you if he wants to. Now, he may not want to, but the extra vehicular power makes young Link, actually Toon Link, dangerous. I told you this is going to be barely edited. Then, last but not least, from Brawl, we have Wolf O'Donnell of Star Wolf. Wolf O'Donnell is an asshole. Like, he is looking for an excuse to fight Fox McCloud specifically. You're not Fox McCloud, so you should be good, but he's still, like, very rude, will probably cause problems on purpose, daring someone to do anything to him. So I'm gonna put him, like, at the bottom of just give me a reason. He leans a lot closer to what are you doing in my swamp, because, like, going and bothering Wolf in his territory will definitely count as a reason, but he's probably got plenty of other reasons in his mind that he would accept as cause to go after you, fight the heck out of you. The villager from Animal Crossing. This is just kind of a conglomerate of all the villagers, as far as I'm aware. So it's the island representative, the mayor, just a random villager. And generally, Animal Crossing is a pretty peaceful game where you hang around, make a crop garden, get a lot of money, pay your landlord again in an endless cycle, find every fossil ever in your tiny little island, which is highly improbable given geographic spans, but, you know, maybe he's got animal magnetism. But the villager is not really a fighter. He does have an axe, and an axe is very dangerous. And he will put in, like, pitfalls for you to fall in as a prank. But because Animal Crossing is such a non-violent game, although it's really funny to imagine this man as a psychopath, Animal Crossing is about being chill and relaxing. So Villager is gonna be all good with you. You're all cool with the Villager. Mega Man. Mega Man is a robot like R.O.B. Definitely a lot more complex than R.O.B. One who would nominally follow the 3 laws of robotics. One of them being, hey, you must not do any harm to humans. However, at the ending of Mega Man 7, he basically says, nuh-uh, to the 3 laws of robotics, and is almost ready to just blow Dr. Wily off the face of the earth. He doesn't, which, you know, good for him, but this does mean he is out of literally can't tier. So, assuming you're doing nothing to antagonize him, Mega Man is, like, at the very bottom of you're all good, bro. Because, again, 3 laws of robotics, he probably can't hurt you unless you really push him over the edge. Greninja is... Oh, I skipped a whole bunch of people according to my list. Greninja can wait his turn. Instead, we are going to the Wii Fit Trainer. The Wii Fit Trainer is a yoga instructor, and they don't take a Hippocratic oath like doctors do, but definitely espouse the healing, nurturing, etc. properties of yoga. So I'm assuming they follow a similar code. And obviously, if her yoga is so powerful and healing, if you randomly encounter her on the street, she's not going to want to use that yoga power to fight you. She might try to sign you up for a yoga class, in which you can do the downward dog with her. But the Wii Fit Trainer literally can't hurt you. Legally, not allowed. That is the mystical power of yoga. I mean, you might hurt yourself, but that's hardly her fault. Rosalina and Luma are somewhere. Oh, down here. So, Luma is a child, but they all follow. All Lumas generally follow what Rosalina wants them to do. And Rosalina is not only a princess, so she's pretty chill along the lines of Peach or Zelda. She's also basically a god. She remade the entire universe in Mario Galaxy. And I don't think anyone who wants to go out and fight people would remake the entire universe after a big fight. Well, they might, but there'd be a whole lot more complaining. Rosalina's just like, oh yeah, need the universe remade? Sign me up, bro. Rosalina is super chill. Rosalina probably wouldn't even fight you if you mistook her for Elsa. She'd play along with it, because she's good with kids. Kids would be the ones who most likely to make that mistake. And to be like, yeah, absolutely, I'm Elsa. She probably watched Frozen and Frozen 2, even Olaf's Frozen Adventure, to know what she could about Elsa so she could ask any questions kids have. Not Elsa is definitely all good with you. And then we have Little Mac. Now, you might think, oh, Little Mac literally fights as his career, so he'd definitely fight you right now. No, he would not. He is a boxer. He is a professional boxer, and boxers operate by pretty strict regulations. Mostly, please don't fight outside of the ring. That looks really bad for the WVBA. So, Little Mac may want to fight you, and would definitely knock the average person flat, if they gave him a reason to. But Little Mac is a boxer who plays relatively cleanly by the standards of the WVBA, and he's not gonna want to risk his title over brawling some chump in the street. So, Little Mac, you're probably all good. He's just a guy from the Bronx, or Brooklyn. He's from New York. He's just a guy who wants to do his best and, fight someone in a paid professional environment. I'm assuming Little Mac gets paid. I certainly hope Little Mac gets paid for that. Now, we have Greninja. Greninja's a Pokemon. Greninja wants to fight you. Greninja, being stealthy might not want, a straight-up fight. Greninja might rely on subterfuge, turning into a log and then dropping from above, which is a common ability for all ninjas to do. They just learned that day one of ninja school, which is real. Look it up. Don't look it up. If you look it up, a ninja will be sent to kill you. I cannot be legally responsible for that. I hereby void all legal responsibility. And so, Greninja definitely will fight you. Might not be a fair fight, might not be a brawl in the street. Greninja, if it sees you, will fight you, because it's Pokemon. The Miis are all so varied in what their faces could be, what character they represent, that I'm just putting the middle of the road and had a bad day. It honestly depends on the Mii. Mahatma Gandhi, probably not going to fight you. An Adolf Hitler Mii probably will fight you. Jack the Ripper probably will fight you. Sans Undertale, probably not, too lazy for that. It really depends on the Mii. There's too many wild card factors for Miis to be nailed down to any particular source. Alright. And then after the Miis, there is Palutena. Palutena is the goddess of light, defender of humanity. Generally, she wants to protect people. She wants them to have a good time. She wants to cook, but she's very bad at that. So, if she's cooking you dinner, you could count that as a fight. But, so most of the time, you'd be all good with Palutena. But, during the story of Kid Icarus Uprising, she does get possessed by the Chaos Kin, I believe. So if you encounter her there, you're in for a bad time. You're in for 5 years of torment under the harsh rule of Palutena. But most of the time, you'll be fine. It's just Palutena's bad days are really, bad days. So, Pac-Man is, just a regular dude who presumably has a job. We never see him go to it. But he goes around mazes, munching dots and munching ghosts and trying not to touch them unless he's eaten a very big dot. Now, if you have balls, Pac-Man wants to munch them. Okay, sure. But actually, in Pac-Man 2, I believe it's called, Pac-Man 2 is not a maze game. Pac-Man 2 is a game about Pac-Man trying to accomplish errands for his family. And in the course of doing so, his mood can change, and if he's in a particular mood, he might cause some petty crimes, like Link's before. So, depending on when you catch him, he's going to, do some rude things, but probably not get in an actual all-out brawl. Not even to munch you or anything like that. Although his theme song, The Pack Is Back, does cause physical harm, so I am going to put him in, just kidding, unless a little bit higher. Maybe towards Pichu. So, Robin, also from Fire Emblem. Robin is a genius tactician, wields both sword and magic equally. Just from the start, not even has to be promoted to do that. So Robin is a genius. Robin can see flaws and advantages in just about every situation. Like to see who's worth recruiting into the army, who's not. And if Robin doesn't like your vibes, they will perceive you as threat or enemy or something like that. Neutral does technically exist, but maybe they just really hate your vibes that much. Maybe your vibes are just that bad. So, Robin might start a fight if it gives them a tactical advantage, especially if Chrom is at their side. If Chrom's at their side, you're gone. You're done, basically. Sorry to tell you, but bye. Now, Shulk is the start of series I don't really know all that much about. I've heard Xenoblade Chronicles is good. I don't have a lot of time to get into 80+ hour RPGs. So, Shulk gets the most vibes. Shulk can see the future. Shulk wants to defend humanity from Mechons, I believe, from Mechonis, who is a giant titan that serves as half the world, the other half being Bionis. So, Shulk generally doesn't want to fight you, can see the future, and I guess if you're a problem in the future, he might act in that case. But mostly, I'm going off of the vibes of him being British. And the British have done so many war crimes that there's always the chance they might try again. They tried to retake America in 1812. Who knows if they'll try it again? My eyes are on you, British people. Bowser Jr. is like his papa. He likes breathing fire, even if it's very tiny fire. Rampaging around, even if he's not as big and bad. Unlike Bowser, Bowser Jr. is definitely going into attacking you right now territory. He's a kid. He doesn't need much of a reason to fight somebody. He might just think it's funny and then immediately start shooting you with cannons, hitting you with the paintbrush. Not as effective as Bowser, but we're not measuring effectiveness. We're measuring aggression, and Bowser Jr. beats his dad in that regard. Duck Hunt. The Duck Hunt duo is the dog and the duck. Now, the dog is a good boy because all dogs are good boys. The ones that aren't good boys are good girls. And the Duck Hunt dog might laugh at you if you miss some ducks when you're shooting them, but he would never, ever, ever, ever dream about hurting you. Duck Hunt Duck might, because, ducks can get territorial, ducks can get snippy if they think you're in their space. At least it's not a goose, or they'd be attacking you right now. So they're kind of balancing each other out. They also have guns. A lot of guns and a lot of explosives. They just summon them from the ether. Wherever the Duck Hunt dog goes, a gun is sure to follow. So, with gun culture being what it is, I refuse to comment any further than that. All it takes is one bad day for the Duck Hunt dog to be the next person to just start blasting away. Would make a hell of a news story, though. So, Ryu or Ryu, I think it's Ryu, yeah, because Shoryuken, not Shoryuken. Either way, Street Fighter Man. Street Fighter Man is like Lucario / Goku. He will seek out fights to prove himself, to train, to get stronger, be the strongest in the world. Now, in Street Fighter 6, I believe he becomes much more of like kind of a boomer, but not a boomer in the fact that he has bad opinions, a boomer in the fact that he doesn't get technology. So he is trying to relate to humans in that regard, so he's not going to fight you and attack you right now like Lucario. But if you give him any reason, especially if you give him any reason to believe you might be worthy of fighting him, then definitely, just give me a reason, Ryu will fight you. Ken trained under the same master as Ryu, has the same basic fighting style as Ryu, but is a whole lot more chill, is not seeking out people so that he can be the strongest world warrior. But if you mess with him, especially if you mess with his family, he's definitely going to throw down because he's professional at fighting. So I'm going to put him in What Are You Doing in My Swamp. He's not going to seek out reasons to fight you, but he has plenty of reasons that would get him to fight you. Cloud is also going to be in What Are You Doing in My Swamp. He is a soldier, both in all caps and in lowercase. Man is just kind of a grumpy Gus. He's got a lot of issues to go through, and he has zero problem taking out a gigantic fucking sword and just going to town with it, hammering the heck out of people. You might think, oh, actually he's slashing it. That thing is so heavy, it's basically a blunt weapon at that point, and it really doesn't matter to Cloud. He would prefer to be left alone, but if you push him just a little bit, then I don't think he would even hesitate to start brawling. Corrin is from definitely one of the least loved Fire Emblem games. Definitely one of the most controversial choices for Super Smash Bros. And Corrin is actually going into Had a Bad Day straight into the middle right here. Because, you know, Corrin being a Fire Emblem character definitely can and will throw down with people. But their allegiances depend on what game they're from. Like, they could be from fighting for Nor, they could be fighting for Hoshido, and both of them have very different political viewings. So, it depends on which Corrin you're facing. If your vibes are bad, then I'm sorry, but according to Hoshido Corrin, you gotta die. Which kind of sucks, because fighting dragons is always a pain in the butt. Oh yeah, Corrin is a dragon. A half-dragon, one of the two. You know, dragons are a whole thing. Anyway. Yeah, Corrin is a flip-flop based on their allegiance at the time. And you may think, oh, but Revelations has Corrin take neither and both sides at the same time. Yeah, well, they shut down the eShop. You can't get Revelations anymore. It's in the void, just like that version of Corrin. Anyway, Bayonetta. So Bayonetta will absolutely 100% tease you if she encounters you in the street. You are never man enough for Bayonetta. You're not even woman enough for Bayonetta. But Bayonetta's concerned with fighting angels, demons, cosmic horrors, that kind of thing. Why would she demean herself to fighting some rando in the street? So you're getting teased the hell out of. But Bayonetta isn't going to go out of her way to fight you. She is British, though. So there's always the chance. Finally, we get to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, where we start with the Inkling. The Inkling goes to war for fun. Sure, they call it Turf War, and it's about like paintball and covering surfaces rather than killing your opponent. But it cannot be avoided. Inkling views going into the territory of a cannibalistic salmon society, throwing bombs everywhere, shooting their fellow Inkling. They view that as fun. They enjoy fighting and warfare and showing off their awesome threads. They will 100% attack you right now. In fact, they barely know what a human is. They might see you as an invader threat, and that's their justification for attacking you. After that, we have Ridley. Ridley is attacking you right now. Ridley is a psychopath of the highest order. Ridley killed hundreds of thousands of people. Ridley will kill hundreds of thousands of people again. Ridley is insane. Ridley's called the Cunning God of Death. That title is not for nothing. He is smart. He is cruel. He enjoys fighting. He is attacking you right now. So, Simon Belmont Simon Belmont is another person that fights for humanity to protect them from the hordes of the undead. Simon is a holy warrior. Simon does not want to go out of his way to fight anyone. He might get really grumpy if they're like in Simon's Quest, where everyone talks in riddles and lies to him all the time. But even then, he did not fight those people. He did not strike them with his whip when he was totally justified doing so. So Simon, you're all good, bro, with him. Richter, very similar, fighting the Scourge of the Undead to protect the world from Dracula. He does fight Alucard in Symphony of the Night, as far as I can remember. But I believe he was possessed by Shaft during that time. At that point, you know, you're fighting Shaft, technically, and not Richter. But still, there is that chance he could get possessed and want to fight you. Or, like, you could be encountering the Whip's memory from Portrait of Ruin, where Richter's like, to prove your worth, you must fight me! So, it's highly unlikely, but Richter might fight you under very extenuating circumstances. King K. Rool is crazy. He's not as genocidal and insane as Ridley would be, but he's still definitely in the attacking you right now tier. Man is a pirate, man is a mad scientist, man is a cruel king. He wears a lot of titles. He will not hesitate to just attack you. Also, he's a gator. And, like, when gators get angry, they get really angry. Isabelle, also from Animal Crossing, is very similar to the mayor, the island representative, everyone she assists in Animal Crossing. But Isabelle does not have a mean thought in her head, a mean bone in her body. She's a sweet puppy. She wants to help you. She would never think badly about anybody. Isabelle literally cannot fight anyone. Like, the thought of it is just incomprehensible to Isabelle, who is just a sweet, good girl. Incineroar, on the other hand, Pokemon, also a wrestler, so it's technically his Pokemon job to fight. He's based on heel wrestling, so he's also gonna play at being an asshole while he's at it. So, like, guy is a jerk right behind only Lucario in terms of would fight you right now. Then we get to the DLC. We have Piranha Plant. So Piranha Plant is aggressive. It likes poking out of pipes and chomping, causing all sorts of other problems. But it is a plant. So its range of motion, very limited. It's only technically in what are you doing in my swamp, because you are in its territory if it pops up high enough to bite you in the butt. And it will definitely fight you, but you have to be very near to the Piranha Plant to notice it. And look at this thing. It's very brightly colored. You would notice a Piranha Plant before you fought it. I want to move Nana and Popo out of the way, so... There, they're right by the ice climbers. And continuing to the paid DLC, for those of you who didn't get Piranha Plant for free early, haha, with Joker, Joker is a victim of society. Society sucks for Joker, a whole lot. But Joker is probably not going to fight you, like, out in a random street. He's going to gather up all his homies. They're going to head into the metaverse. The cool metaverse, though. And then they're going to enter your soul palace and change your heart. Which I guess is technically fighting you, but, like, you're not there fighting. Your shadow is, your true self. So is that really you? Or well, there's a lot of philosophy behind it. So I'm just going to say if Joker's had a bad day, then he's not going to fight out in the open. But there is going to be a fight somewhere, even if you physically can't see it. The hero from Dragon Quest. There are multiple versions of the hero from Dragon Quest. I haven't played any of the games, though. But as far as I'm aware, again, Shulk problem, haven't played the games, don't know all that much. As far as I'm aware, the heroes of Dragon Quest really don't go out of their way to fight people. They might gamble a whole lot. They might, like, capture some monsters. They might engage in some puff action. But other than that, heroes generally are going to be pretty chill. I don't think they want to fight people as a rule. I don't think a lot of people in the Smash Bros. Competitive community want to fight Hero because he's too random. Get good, scrubs. Then we have Banjo and Kazooie. I'm actually kind of glad they put two here for Banjo and Kazooie, because Banjo is a chill dude along the lines of Sonic the Hedgehog. He wants to sleep, eat honey, sleep again. Kazooie, on the other hand, Kazooie is an asshole. Kazooie is petty. She will take the most rude, violent approach to anything. Kazooie alone pushes the duo up into just give me a reason. Because Kazooie will cause problems on purpose and laugh about it. Banjo by himself, which is an option, because in Banjo Tooie they do get the ability to split up. Banjo himself is just probably in haha just kidding unless tier, because he's very chill, but he is a bear, so the wild animal factor is still there. Actually, no, I'm going to put him at the bottom of had a bad day tier, because he's not like Donkey Kong, more likely to get aggressive, but he's still a bear and that wild animal factor cannot be ignored. Terry is definitely an all good, bro. Terry can fight. He is trained professional fighter like Ryu and Ken. But this man doesn't hate anybody except for like the truly, truly evil, and I'm assuming and hoping you're not truly, truly evil. So he's gonna have like part-time jobs, like delivering pizza, working at an arcade. This man just wants to hang out. He wants to hang out, drink a lot of diet soda, order pizza, and play Burnout Revenge for the PS2. Terry's cool. Terry, I want to hang out with Terry. Byleth is the last Fire Emblem character on the list, because Alear was not released in time for Smash Ultimate. And Byleth, I'm just going to put into just give me a reason. Because, Byleth isn't going to set out intentionally to cause problems, but Byleth is the Ashen Demon, who can cut swaths in their wake and be very emotionless while they're at it. A teaching job does keep them grounded enough to keep them from going full-on Scourge of the battlefield. But there's always that chance that Byleth snaps, and then you're in the way, and Byleth will not care. Do not pursue Lubu. Watch out for Byleth. Min Min from ARMS, rest in peace the ARMS fighting community. You're also probably pretty good with Min Min. She's a professional fighter like many others, but she also runs a restaurant, serving her noodles. And if it's anything like the Asian cuisine restaurants I've been into, then she might insult you in her mother tongue, which she is very confident you do not understand. But she's not going to, out and out fight you. I don't really count insults as fighting, so I'm putting her, at the top of you're all good, bro. Minecraft Steve. I mean, have you seen Minecraft players? They're crazy. They're insane. They do in real life crimes because Minecraft crimes aren't good enough for them. Minecraft Steve is definitely going to attack you right now and loot your body for pelts and meat and emeralds. If you're carrying any emerald, it's over for you. Steve is going to freaking get you. Sephiroth also attacking you right now. He's going to be a lot, colder and more professional about doing it, but he will absolutely not hesitate in bringing you pears, and then impaling you and impaling the pears so you don't have them. Now, if I barely know anything about Shulk, Pyra and Mithra are where my knowledge hits nothing. I know they're the same person, and I know they're sentient swords that marry the person that wields them, I'm pretty sure. But in general, all I know from the vibes is Pyra is soft-spoken, so probably doesn't want to set out to fight you, but she is a sword, so the urge for violence is still in there. Mithra, a whole lot ruder, will fight if given provocation, but mostly wants to stick to insults and just calling you a bitch and drinking your Pepsi. Not quite as rude as Kazooie, as far as I'm aware. Pyra and Mithra in general, I'm just gonna take the average, put them in had a bad day. Then we get to Kazuya Mishima. Kazuya Mishima loves fighting. Ryu loves fighting. Kazuya loves fighting. He loves fighting. He loves throwing his father into a volcano. He loves declaring war with an agency that is built on fighting and no one's really sure what the business does because it's Tekken and the plot is batshit insane. Kazuya absolutely would fight you if given the chance. And last but not least, we have Sora. Now, in general, Sora is Sora's really chill. He likes people. He likes introducing them to his friends, Donald and Goofy, not represented in Smash because Disney lawyers will find you and they will get you. So, most of the time, you're going to be fine with Sora. But if you start chatting about your interests with Sora, and you just so happen to think Disney villains are cool, which I'm going to say most of the population does, then Sora's gonna have a problem, and Sora's gonna start fighting, because he thinks you might be a Disney villain, and will show you the way to a pure heart by bonking you with the key over and over, flying in the air like summoning a train or something from the air, and then having Chicken Little pelt you with baseballs and remind you how bad Chicken Little was as a movie. So anyway, as you can see, this is an objectively correct tier list of who would fight you in the street if you just randomly encountered them. Might not even be in the street, you might even be in the grocery store, you might be at Waffle House, where the chance to fight goes up by 50%, thanks to the area buff. If you have problems with this tier list, feel free to leave a comment. Make sure to like, subscribe. I cannot guarantee this content will be all I do. This is a shenanigans channel before anything else. And until next time, know that if you fight me in the street, you will lose.